Peter, I want to start with you because I think about what Bill Gross said. And in a plane, when you're in stall speed, what you really need to do at that point is put the nose down.
Exactly.
and it goes against everything you think you should do, but that's how you fix things. Do we have the nerve to do what we need to do to fix this economy, put the nose down and get us back on track?
It's not looking that way, and I think that's part of the problem. If people thought that we had the wherewithal and the willpower to do what's required to get out of this mess, you might see a more optimistic market, and that could be a self-fulfilling prophecy on the upside. We're in danger of a self-fulfilling prophecy on the downside. Consumers, businesses, both pessimistic. Stock investors today showing their pessimism. And then you worry about lenders as well. If everybody turns pessimistic because they fear something bad might happen, that bad thing is going to happen.
That's a great point. Psychology is so powerful. Marvin, psychology is so powerful. I mean, the market's sending us a very, very clear message today. Do you see any kind of quick fix here?
I don't see a quick fix, and I'd say it's more than just psychology. Remember that people are losing billions of dollars in net worth as the market plunges. So this is actually feeding straight through into households' consumption decisions beyond their confidence. Of course, it reinvigorates the downward spiral in confidence, but it also cuts their incomes.
No, very clear. Hey, let's talk a little bit about Europe because, you know, it really was, at least according to Mike Arenstein, he said it's not the U.S. that's the big problem here. It's what's going on in Europe. Martin, you agree?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's just Europe. What I would say is that if you look around the world, the data has come in worse than expected, particularly in the United States, and that has heightened people's concerns about all the different tail risks that are out there. One of the key things about entering stall speed in an economy is that you're much more vulnerable to those tail risks out there. And if anything, those tail risks have proliferated recently or intensified, as is in the case of Europe. But certainly, you look around the world, it looks like the United States is certainly stalling, if nothing else, and is potentially headed towards a recession. You look at Europe. They have not been able to contain their problems there at all. In Asia, China is not able to control its inflation problem. And in the Middle East, despite the fact that we've seen oil prices fall on growth concerns in the last week, the Arab Spring is not over. And in fact, it's intensifying in a key geopolitical state of Syria.
So, Marvin, where do you put your money?
Well, right now, I think Treasuries are actually a great place.
Really? Really, Marvin?
At these yields?
Yeah.
I mean, at these yields, right?
Look,
Take into account some inflation. I mean, really, that makes sense?
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. Look, the world is panicking right now. You need a safe haven out there. What is your safe haven? Prior to this week, you could have said the Swiss franc was a great safe haven. The Japanese yen was a great safe haven. Gold was a great safe haven. The problem with all of those is on the yen and the Swiss franc, there's domestic constituencies there that are now squealing and saying uncle because they're seeing their economies crushed by this. On gold, gold is not a true safe haven. It is a source of monetary stability, but you can see when you actually head into real crises, gold also falls. So you look around, what's the only big liquid market out there that you're fairly sure ain't going to default today? Now, we may worry about it in 10 years, but it ain't going to fall today. So you run to Treasuries. And remember, if you go back and look, last year we got down to 233 in the 10-year yield.
Right.
When people thought that QE2 was coming around. During the 2008 crisis, we got down to 2% because of safe haven flows. So if those are potential targets here, that's even at 250, it still looks like a good buy to me.
Guys, we got to run. Thank you so much. Marvin Barr, thank you to you. And Peter Coy, of course, thanks as always.